What's up, everybody? It is your boy Chaos, and welcome to the Daily Show. No, you are not seeing Ben Allison with a huge tan. It is Chaos here in the middle, and I am joined by none other than
That's arguably the best cold open I've ever heard.
It is Chaos in the flesh, host of Take It to the Table, doing the Daily Show, and I'm joined by none other than Clark, Taylor, and Soul on the show. How you doing today, guys?
I've honestly never been better. We're at Mania Week. We're all in the building. I need to lean into the camera slightly.
Yeah.
I'm tucked behind a bed, but honestly, it's been an excellent day. We hit the Superstore. We hit ROH. We checked into the hotel. We got everything knocked out. The show was excellent. I had a blast. Cranked a couple of beers, as you should. As one should. Mania Week. It was a blast. Yeah. And I know Soul here's having the time of his life as well.
All right. Nah, it's good to be back.
You've got Matthew McSollahey.
Hey, it's been a fun day here, boys. I must say, hitting the
Yes. So yeah, if you haven't guessed already, we were at Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor.
To be fair, first point on, we thought we were going to miss the whole 0 hour thing.
Oh God, you guys were on the
we mistimed it by an hour.
By an hour, yeah. After all that rushing and panicking.
In the correct direction, though. We actually showed up on time by accident.
Yeah, by accident, yeah, exactly.
Remarkably so. We rushed to show up on time, thinking we were late.
Oh yeah, I mean, first of all,
freaking brilliant.
I want to talk about the arena and all that. I love the arena. The arena itself.
Yeah, so this was at the Galden. What's it?
Galen Center.
Galen Center. Apologies.
At University of Southern California. It's on campus. It's their basketball arena. They also play men's and women's volleyball, men's and women's basketball, and multiple sports. But yeah, I agree. Beautiful venue. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Very good.
Absolutely. And they were giving us our best boy Anthony's in the crowd here. Our one viewer. Let's say hello. Good man.
We got Anthony in the background.
They were giving out armbands if Anthony was able to produce the subject that's on the table. Thank you. Glorious assistant.
You're gonna get to see a mysterious object
over here, apparently.
There we go.
They were getting out lovely
Jay Briscoe bands. Yeah. Nice little touch as well. Everyone got them. It was a really very solid venue. The vibes were great. But yeah, of course, we gotta talk about the show. Let's start off with a couple of the matches. Do we go into 0 hour? You want to talk about 0 hour?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's briefly talk about that. Yeah.
Why wouldn't we? We were there.
Of course, yeah.
I think the main thing from 0 hour, there was great ones. I mean, stand out for all of it was Takeshita.
Yeah,
I would agree. And I think even Jeff Cobb deserves some credit. I mean, three matches in 3 nights.
Yeah, he's putting that work. He's getting that money.
That's a workload, and we've talked about multiple wrestlers have worked a lot of matches.
Yeah,
this week, but Cobb to be featured on the cards he has, right? On AEW, on television, on pay-per-view for Impact.
I mean, the fact this man,
and then once again on pay-per-view, right? That's different than working, the smaller shows. Yeah.
The fact that Jeff Cobb's worked for basically 4 companies in 3 days, with AEW, New Japan, Impact, and now Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
powerhouse.
Absolutely,
110%. But one final thing, obviously for 0 hour, I want to mention obviously the Righteous coming back with Vincent.
Outstanding.
I mean, that a feud with Dark Order as well. Stu Grayson and Evil Uno all teased at the end of 0 hour.
Yeah.
I thought that was one of the better stare downs I've seen in a while too. And I was kind of shocked that they didn't maybe save that for the actual show, because that was one of the, and it was early enough that the crowd had filled in.
Yes.
Or I'm sorry, late enough that the crowd had filled in. It wasn't at the beginning of 0 hour.
Yeah.
No.
But I thought on the main card that was arguably one of the bigger surprise pops of the night during the stare down, and the way the crowd reacted to Evil Uno when he walked out through the side.
Yeah,
I was impressed by that, no question. I think the Dark Order has gained some ground with the move to ROH in relation to being on Dynamite every week and being on AEW.
Yeah,
and setting them up for a tag rivalry like that, I think is the right move to kind of reestablish their ability bell to bell.
Yeah, definitely, with the Dark Order being a lovable cult and the Righteous seeming like this twisted mountain family, that's going to be a hell of a matchup. And, you mentioned surprise, and we kind of missed this one getting merch, but Nigel McGuinness, he's back.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, back home, as they say. So yeah, that was a nice little surprise. I kind of wish I looked online, people saying I kind of wish there was actually on the main show, but Either way, it's Nigel McGuinness, and he's on commentary. I thought it was a huge loss when WWE didn't want him anymore. He was great on commentary. I loved it, especially when he was at the peak of NXT, the Black and Gold brand. His him as well with Mark Ranello. Yeah, them two were just synergy.
Mauro Ranello is
Mauro
one of my absolute favorite commentators of all time too. Unbelievable. I mean, boxing.
Yes.
I just watched them call David Benavidez and Caleb Plant last weekend.
Right.
He's still on his game. Gosh, do I wish he'd come back to wrestling.
Me too.
Sincerely, he's one of the. I mean, Mamma Mia never gets old. But the pop culture references,
yes,
the speed, the cadence, the delivery, the passion that just comes through it. I think he's brilliant. And I would argue, although he's beloved, he's underrated across combat sports.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anybody better to call a fight, a wrestling match, or anything of that realm than Mauro, especially for play-by-play.
100%. So that was pretty much the 0 hour wrapped up. It was a decent start, got the crowd warmed up. But let's go to the main card, shall we? And what a way did they open this? I was surprised that this was the opener. Let me just get this out of the way. But basically it was El Hijo del Vikingo. I hope I didn't butcher the name. I will get it right because you deserve it wholeheartedly against Commander for the AAA Mega Championship. Jesus, was this an opener and a half? It was, innovativeness. If Ignacio was there, he would have an aneurysm because of all the flippy-doo-dahs and all the innovativeness. Because he's all about no flips, just fists. But as boring as that may be, but it was the chemistry was on point. It was the counters were innovative, and just that the Vikingo guy, he just comes out with these crazy moves after once you think you've seen everything, he does some madness. But I just want to get your thoughts. What do you think of that match, Soul?
God, we recorded our reaction to this starting up, and it was just such surprising. To be fair, if you want to start the crowd off with one absolute bang, you start off with this. All the hold and all that, the counter in was immense. The table spot, even though it didn't work, it was still amazing with all the flips and all that. Vikingo is basically a generational athlete in my mind. The man is moving like water. It's scary to see, but hell of a way to do it. They got, I think, the timing wise for this match as well, they got the enough time they deserved.
60 minutes on the dot, to be exact.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hell. Heck, Commander's coming back for Dynamite as well next week against Sammy. So
that's really great.
Yeah. Definitely. It was it couldn't have gone any better, to be honest. It also arguably. Well, I'll give my little thoughts on it at the end as well. But what did you think about that match?
Honestly, it's really funny. I was up on the concourse during that match watching it with Anthony, and I turned to him and I said, "Dude, this is so random, but first off, I agree with everything. The King is sublime. It's otherworldly. It's Olympic gymnastics. It's Olympic gymnastics." But I'm laughing. I'm up on the concourse and I look at Anthony at one point and I go, his ring gear doesn't even lend you to think that he's capable of doing it. That isn't easy to work in. You know what I mean? Usually when you see that kind of I don't want to say acrobatics, but just freakish athleticism and aerial talent.
Yeah.
You're in gear that would make it easier. He's got the stuff flying off the sides. And it almost makes it aesthetically gnarlier. And I'm not trying to take away from his athleticism saying that, but it kind of blew my mind. It's he almost looks like a human Mortal Kombat character.
Yeah.
He's almost like a human video game.
Yeah. That's something that's the cringy kind of talk that you have on WWE commentary. He's like a video game character.
Right? But in all seriousness.
Yeah.
It's
100%. Because of how great that match was, do you feel like putting that as the opener, do you think they quote unquote blew their wad too early, because in my opinion, I don't think they recovered, or they couldn't get to those kind of heights.
You went with blew your wad, and I'm going to say I like a great curtain jerker. So, to be honest, I have no issue with a solid opener. I'm saying maybe a slightly, only because I don't know if anything was able to match it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I do love busting that curtain wide open. And sometimes you got to do it. And they brought the heat early, and I didn't have a problem with that.
I think it was a good start. Of course, we did bring the heat early, but I think there was a particular match on the card or down the line that really kind of soured or drew the energy out.
Yeah, we'll talk about that shortly.
But I mean, I think they recovered it with the last 4 matches. After that, were absolutely banging.
Yeah,
absolutely,
100%. Okay, let's move on to the next match, which was the 6-man tag team match for the World 6-man Tag Team Championships. The Embassy versus AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Metalik. Ultimately, the Embassy came out and retained, surprisingly. At the match, I think it was fair to say it was nothing much to really write home about. If anything, more people were surprised that Brian Cage not only they won, but Brian Cage actually took the pin and everything. So, because there was lots of possibilities or potential that rumors were swirling that if he lost, this would be his way out. But he's obviously a retainer. So, well, what did you? Let me switch it now. Let me go to Clark. What did you think of this match and your thoughts on it?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was entertaining for a 6-man. I don't understand what's going on with AR Fox in the trio situation. Like him and
it was just coupled together.
Yeah, it seems like one of those throw togethers.
Yeah,
I love the AR Fox and Top Flight. If it's them on the other end, that's who goes over. It's just, and unfortunately, I know, and we'll get to it later. Obviously, what happens with Dante, and I don't know if we can confirm it, but I did talk to the security guard, and he said that the medics were saying broken leg. The security at the arena watched him be wheeled out, and he said leg broken for sure.
Yeah,
unfortunately, and so wish the best for him, but. And not to take away from that match that we're actually supposed to be talking about right now.
Yeah.
Which I really did enjoy. But I just, all I could think when I saw AR Fox's entrance, all I could think is it just should be Dante Darius, and then it's easy money here.
Yeah.
But so many good athletes. The Brian Cage aspect's the most interesting part, I think, though.
Yeah.
Because to your point, that dude, I thought it was his way out anyway. But I don't know where he was going. Because WWE's logical, but Impact might have made sense too. I don't know. And I think maybe if there's a way to build Brian Cage into the ROH World title picture, that's more logical than any other route he's going to go. Because I don't know how big of a splash he is elsewhere.
Yeah, that's fair point. What about you, Sol? What do you think of this match and the outcome?
I definitely agree with Clark's points 100% on everything. I think he's spoken it very true for what not only me, but I think many other people out there's feelings on this whole match and situation. I'm just so surprised that they have the same title design.
They changed everything else but that one. Yeah,
well, technically that and another one.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but okay, fair enough. So yeah, let's go on to the next matches. But yeah, if anything, if it's all right with you, Sol, we're gonna do a little switcheroo with switcherini with Anthony.
I agree. I'm interested to hear his points on this.
I am too.
So yeah, we're just gonna do a little.
All right, Mr. Donor.
Little hot tag, if you will.
Hot tag.
That's hot tag.
And the fans begin to chant.
Welcome to the show, Anthony.
Hey.
Oh God! What
was that?
I'm gonna give the switcher music to Martin Jannetty.
I think you just saw Sol just actually hit super kick on accident, and then hit the cancel button.
Okay. Super cancel. Yeah.
Super kick cancel. He was like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't throw that one."
Circle the next. That's what you do.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly. Fair enough. So yeah. Welcome to the Daily Show, Anthony. So yeah, we just wanted to get your thoughts on the next couple matches.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got the Athena versus Yuka Sasaki for the ROH Women's Championship. Now, yeah, I thought this was solid. I like the entrance. The entrance was pretty cool for Athena. I mean, it was nice and simple but effective. But the match, to be fair, all I can remember really is just the ending. During it, nothing was really working for me. But yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts on the show on that match anyway?
I mean, it was an interesting match. I'll be perfectly honest. I wasn't overly familiar with Athena's opponent.
Yeah.
I thought I've always kind of liked Athena. I've always thought that she was kind of underrated and never really got that big break in WWE to carry a women's title successfully on the main show. So
yeah,
having her be the face of Ring of Honor's women's division, I think you could do well with that if you're able to push her in the right way.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, I hear that. What about you, Clark? What did you think of this match?
You know, I was up on the concourse and I really enjoyed my beer during this one.
This isn't over.
Yeah, it was one of those things where,
I'm not gonna lie, I did see a lot of fans leaving during this was that match.
Yeah, and that's no offense. I actually really enjoy Athena, but I wasn't eating popcorn, but it was a popcorn break.
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely one of them. She's just stuck spinning the wheels right now.
Yeah,
with Athena, and there's nothing to take away from her. I mean, she's great. I loved her when she was in NXT.
Outstanding talent.
Definitely someone to definitely have on your roster. But yeah, nothing's really gripping for the pretty much for a whole AEW run really. Since that whole Jade Cargill thing ended, it's been absolutely just.
When that was so brutal is the initial stare down with Jade and that intro, you thought, oh, this is it.
Could be the one.
This works, and then just the steam so quickly evaporated, you know.
Yeah. I mean, she squashed her in the match, didn't she?
She did.
Yeah, it was.
I think that was one of those things too, where Dynamite, a couple other things went over because that was a Dynamite match.
Yes, it was.
You know, I believe that's one of those things where time got cut too, and that might have screwed around the storyline.
Yeah.
As much as anything.
Yeah. Of course. Fair enough. Next match was the for the ROH World Television Championship match now, which was between Samoa Joe and Mark Briscoe. Now this raised a lot of eyebrows. I'm not gonna lie, mine included. So Samoa Joe retained. Not only that, but by submission. And yeah, just considering the fact that this show was pretty much cool. Yeah, sorry, we just got a little update regarding Dante Martin. But yeah, just considering how the show was predominantly surrounded, dedicating to the Briscoe or Jay Briscoe, especially with the merch as well. And we thought something would have been. I wasn't probably even anticipating this to be even the main event, if anything. Considering how this was the show was just kind of built around the Briscoes, as well as the ladder tag team match later on in the night. But yeah, not only did Mark Briscoe lost, he lost by submission, came out with no title. Don't know what they're doing with that. You know, the match was great though. I must say the match was solid. But yeah, the ending did really kind of take the energy out of the room. I must say, definitely everyone's really surprised at that. But what's your thoughts on it, Anthony? What do you think?
I mean, I really like the match, and it is kind of funny that I think we all talked about, okay, what's going to main event the show, whether it was going to be the ladder match, whether it was going to be the world title, or obviously the Briscoe match.
Yeah.
I was very surprised that Mark lost. I thought that was kind of a given that, Mark's going to win the title. The equivalent of when Ray won the Rumble.
Yeah.
After Eddie passed. It was. I think it might have been done just to swerve, or maybe they offered it to Mark, and Mark didn't want to win it because he, didn't want it under those circumstances. I don't know. It was definitive with him tapping out. So, I mean, it was clean. So I don't know where you go with this. Do you keep Joe in Ring of Honor? Does he ever go back to AEW on a full-time? Like, they're going to have to make a decision at some point soon of what's the roster.
Yeah.
What's AEW and what's Ring of Honor? If you have these people splitting, it's not the same. They're two different companies anymore. It's one.
Yeah.
Just with them appearing on both shows. It's a Raw and SmackDown situation. Very brand split.
Yeah. 100%. What about you, Clark? What's your thoughts on this?
I mean, I thought it was the second best match of the night outside of the opener. But the finish, I can't fathom. I actually think I'm fine with Joe going over.
Okay.
Submission. Why? That's ridiculous. If you went unconscious, you're going to tell that story? Okay. Tap out.
Did he tap?
He tapped.
I'm pretty sure he did.
He tapped.
Oh, he did tap. Oh wow, I
He
thought you
tapped.
passed out. Okay.
To
Okay.
tap out.
Shit. Yeah.
If he passes out, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Mhm.
But the standing ovation was amazing. Still.
Yeah. It looked like
Yeah.
it was also it looked like a tearful farewell. So people are kind of wondering like, is this
If
him?
that was the end of the road
Yeah.
for Mark,
Yeah.
it's possible. I mean, it's
I'm guessing he's going to take an extended break, as he should and deserved, and that would
100%.
make more sense. This
Yeah.
time to grieve, time of family, extended break, comes back in a few months, and I would imagine Tony Khan would be sensitive to that.
Yeah. Of course.
Given the way he handled Brody Lee, the way he's handled either getting the Jay Briscoe show actually done was impressive.
Yes.
We were harsh on him at first. It was very impressive. I think that makes the most sense, and I think that's kind of the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a fan, would I selfishly have liked to see Mark go over and have a big rah-rah moment?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But yeah, I think that's probably what's happening.
Okay.
As far as that goes, that's my guess.
Yeah.
Recklessly speculating.
It's what we do best.
Exactly. No, but okay, fair enough. So on the next match that happened was the Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Daniel Garcia. This pretty much came out of nowhere, but yeah, I didn't mind it. You know, I got to see Tanahashi in person. You know, and that was pretty cool. Daniel Garcia was playing up the heel character. I especially loved it when he was on the stairs and he was doing this the flipping reggaeton down. He was just doing the Spanish dance. It was freaking. I loved it, and he was leaning more into it. But yeah, ultimately Tanahashi lost. Tanahashi won. Sorry, in 12 minutes exact, which is there's a lot of matches that actually finished bang on. They're very, very, very good with timing. But yeah, that happened, and yeah, I mean, it was what it was, really. I can't really say anything about it. What about you, Clark? What did you think of this match?
I mean, I was excited to see Tanahashi.
Yeah.
I oddly thought Garcia stole the show.
Yeah.
So like, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
But like, it didn't feel like a Tanahashi match because of either.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of awkward placement on the card.
Yes.
And then Garcia was like almost too good.
Yeah.
I want to say, and he looked fresher than Tanahashi.
Yeah.
There was something about that. I think in the match he looked, I guess, like he had more energy. Tanahashi looked a little tired to me at times.
Yeah.
Compared to normal, like not quite as, not like he was off his game, but just not quite as like crisp.
Yeah.
As you would exactly expect.
Well, he did work the Impact show the night before, so
Right.
that might have been a part of it. The match was what it was. I agree with you, Chaos. There's no story behind it. It was just a match of going, we're putting these two against one another for just to have them on the card.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it would have been some story
Yeah.
of why they're wrestling.
Yeah.
That always bothers me with those. I mean, you do dream matches, stuff like that. I get it. But was Daniel Garcia against Tanahashi really on anybody's dream card list?
Not really. No.
I mean, that's
It wasn't on my dream card list, but I will say, even though I didn't expect it to happen, I think Daniel Garcia is good. He sold me over the last 2 All Out weekends I've been on.
Okay.
He was on. I went to both Rampages.
Okay.
He was on both Rampage cards. He was the main event the first year against Darby.
Okay. Yeah.
That match was one of the best matches I've seen. Being there's different.
Yeah.
But on a Rampage.
Yeah.
It was outstanding. And Darby did that before he wrestled Punk. On Sunday.
Yeah.
But it really, it was. I had to do the same thing. but really, that was when I kind of first had my eye on Garcia, and that was when he's still teaming with, whatever you call him, 2.0 or.
Oh yeah.
You want a taste? Yeah.
Taste. Sorry.
Okay, I will say I met Matt Menard though after last year's All Out in the airport.
Yeah.
Super cool guy.
Cool. Yeah.
Couldn't have been nicer. But but yeah, I'm sold on Garcia. I think he's good.
Yeah,
I
think
think
potential.
I think also the New York City with the accent and if he can really cultivate and lean into that, that's where the money's at.
Agreed.
I think for sure.
Agreed. You have anything else to say on that match?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, so yeah, we're gonna do one more switcheroo, to bring back on the Soul Man. He doesn't want
Apparently,
to
the Soul Man is on the
Decline.
building.
I want to hear Anthony talk about Shibata.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
cool.
me too.
All right, fair enough. All right, cool. Fair enough.
Soul,
He wants to keep it in.
soul.
He trusts his attack partner.
I'm a soul
All
man.
Fair enough. All right. So, the next match we're gonna go into, it would be the Reach for the Sky ladder match, which obviously consisted of Lucha Bros, Top Flight, The Kingdom, Aussie Open, and La Faction Ingenoble. Not bad.
Ingobernable.
Damn it! I thought I nailed it. Fair enough. Yeah.
Wait, let me make sure.
Ingobernable. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
No, yeah, it's La Fación Ingobernable.
Okay, cool. 85%.
That's actually right. I nailed that.
Yeah, you killed it. Yeah, you
Not
killed
that
it.
good. My mom speaks Spanish. Shout out my mom.
Fair enough. Say no more.
Totally fluent.
So yeah, that was for the vacant new ROH Tag Team Championships, and yeah, for me, this was probably the second best match on the card. I thought it was quite solid. Nice innovative spots. Wasn't really that much. I don't think there was any botches really, except unfortunately the end was a bit marred. Unfortunately with Dante Martin, but yeah, I thought it was good. I feel like it could have went either way. I would have been fine with either. Obviously the Lucha Bros won. I would have been fine with either them or even Top Flight winning. I thought they were definitely right. They rightfully deserved it, either one of them. But yeah, it got the crowd into the event as well. They were really into it. They were saying this is awesome chants, all that good stuff. And that table spot where was that that was insane, unneeded, but insane as well. But yeah, what's your thoughts on it, Anthony? What do you think of this match?
For me, it was my second favorite match behind the Kingo
Yeah.
as well. I mean, you expect a car crash type match
100%.
whenever there's a tag team ladder match. I mean, the blueprint's been set by the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge, and Christian, and all the other teams over the years that have been in those matches. So, I mean, it was over the top, and I remember Clark and I were watching it together, freaking out at some of the spots that they were doing. I think it was really fitting that another brother tag team won the titles.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think of that. That's really cool. Actually, I'm sorry I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
yeah, I thought that was a nice touch. Mark coming out, to with both titles in his hands to greet them out there, and then of course FTR came out as well, the group hug. I thought that was really an emotional match, and honestly, I would have closed the show with that thing.
Yeah. That could have been.
I think that visual of them all on the stage to close out the show would have been a better ending than what happened.
Yeah. Of course. What about you, Clark? What do you think?
I totally agree with that on the finish thing. But I also had a total botch earlier in the show. I completely forgot about this match. It was the second best match of the night. Sorry, Mark. Slide you back to 3. Love you to death, Mark. But
I knew he was going to say that, but I didn't want to correct him on air.
Total whiff. That one's on me, guys. Hey, I drove to LA today. Remember, you guys rode.
That's fair enough. Yeah, just say fair play.
To LA.
Fair play.
And it was stop and go there at the last second, despite the fact that we beat the traffic.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
but I'll say I love everything about this match. They made the right call.
Yeah.
And the FTR moment of it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
100%. For them to be there, I think even for Mark, that probably meant the world.
100%.
Yeah.
My one gripe with it is definitely, especially watching it live, when obviously there's actually going in the ring and the other teams that rest out, most of them weren't selling. They were just sitting there, especially Aussie Open. They were just busy, just literally having a conversation. And you see, obviously the action is going on, but obviously you don't see that on TV. Yeah. But when you're live and you just they're not interacting or just selling it. They were just sitting there waiting for their cue. And for me, that takes it out of it.
I mean, that's the thing. I think that's always a potential problem
With these
when you're in the arena.
Yeah,
You'll see things you don't see on TV.
of course.
So the question is, do you judge these matches from the version that you see live or the version that the world sees with the camera cuts and everything else? I probably going back to rewatch that match on TV might change your. I mean, it may, but you'll always in the back of your mind go, I know that they were doing this during that spot.
Yeah.
So
it was hot enough in the arena. I think they got away with that one. But to your point, there was a Penta spot where he's just waiting home the rope.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude.
He's known for that.
Honestly,
though.
if he'd have squatted down or something, I'm fine with it. But just the holding the rope with her knee on the apron.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Pentagon is amazing, but it's one of those things where
he has his moments doing that. I've noticed over the time. Even on TV, I always notice he's always anticipating, or he just ruins it.
He's like pausing.
Yeah. I get that, but yeah, obviously the Lucha Bros won with the crazy. Well, it was from the ladder, wasn't it? The Canadian Destroyer over into the
table. That's right.
And then unfortunately, the unfortunate injury to Dante was completely taken out, which was unfortunate. But yeah, hopefully a speedy recovery to him. We saw that he's already in hospital, getting checked over, and he seems to be in good spirits. So.
Did you see which hospital he went to? Did you go to Cedar Sinai?
No, I had no clue.
Gotta be Cedars.
Just him and Darius.
It's where Tiger went after the accident.
Fair enough.
They fixed his leg. They fixed Dante.
Definitely. So yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. So yeah, next match was Shibata versus Wheeler Yuta for the ROH Pure Championship.
I just want to quickly jump in and say, Shibata, you is going to get his big brother John and big brother Claudio to kick your ass, and then when that fails, Daddy Danielson's coming for you at Forbidden Door.
You heard it here first.
Hey,
I mean, boy, what a match! What a reception for Shibata. He got one of the biggest pops, biggest welcomes of the night. And yeah, he faced Yuta, who came out with John Moxley unexpectedly. That was pretty cool. Everyone hated John Moxley in our section. It was weird. It was especially one guy. He said he just can't stand it. Like he legitimately hated him. But he got quite a few boos. It's really not liked. I don't know what it was, but other than that, I thought the match was freaking enjoyable. This was my third favorite match of the night. Shibata, just no sold the chops. Took a bit of beatings. Yuta played safe with him as well. He wasn't going anywhere near the head. All that kind of stuff. It was really good. And the unexpected person won. Flipping Shibata won. Clean as a whistle. I couldn't believe that. But yeah, everyone loved it. Everyone ate it up. Where does this leave Yuta with the BCC? That was
close.
That was really close. Where it leaves him regarding that, who knows? But yeah, Anthony, let me get you the 2-2s on that. What did you think of this match?
I mean, that's the thing. You're just looking.
Compose yourself.
I'm sorry. Those two.
Just looking at Shibata, it's amazing that he survived the injury that he survived.
110%.
And the fact that he's back and he's wrestling. I was very surprised, and I said to Clark, I'm like, I can't believe they gave it to Shibata. So the question is, okay, well, who's he going to face next? Who's going to take him off of him? And like Sol said, Danielson is certainly a possibility. But as I said in the Uber ride back from the event, if you give it to Danielson, why not have one last pure championship match with him and Nigel? Give Nigel his retirement match if he can get cleared, and do that.
Yeah, no, I'm down for that, especially with him against Danielson. That'd be freaking awesome. McGuinness, I don't know. Has he claimed that he wants to come back in? Or
I think he wants to do at least one more, and Danielson and him certainly have history over that title.
Right.
So, and Danielson would be a safe one for him to wrestle.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, Danielson came back from a career-ending injury.
Yeah.
To go on. I mean, I think if Nigel's going to face anybody, it's probably going to be somebody he would feel safe to be in the ring with.
Of course.
And Danielson probably would be at the top of that list, I would think.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I hear that. What about you, Clark? What did you think of this match?
I mean, I enjoyed it. I liked that it was snug, and Wheeler deserves a monster shout out for avoiding the head. That was huge. I know we've said it before, but like, be safe.
Yeah.
And it was still entertaining, right? That's a side note, but it that to me was cool. I was shocked by Shibata winning. I love Anthony's idea about Nigel if he's willing to come back. I don't know exactly where you go from here, but I don't see a problem with Shibata carrying a title because of the way the crowd reacted to the victory.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of the biggest thing I took away was like, okay, maybe it was the right call. That was one of the most well thought out things that I didn't expect.
I think the only question is, obviously he's a New Japan talent, so he's going to have to fly over every time to defend it unless they have him defending it in Japan or he's staying in the States. I don't believe he is. I believe he flew in from Japan. As far as I know.
You what?
He's not allowed to compete in Japan.
He's not allowed to compete in Japan.
Oh.
Okay, so.
Okay. So
but is he living in Japan, or
this
is he living
just
in the States?
in? He's not allowed to compete in Japan, which means
I believe he has a house in US, in the States.
Okay, well, he's
Okay,
sorted then.
well, that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
sounds like he's got a visa in the States.
Yeah, must do. Must do.
Ben Allison, by the way, according to Ben Allison, had a visa in the States. See that? That's really professional.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you very much, Ben. Thank you very much. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm fine with the winner. It was hard for. It wasn't even that long. It was only 13 minutes. But it really felt like, for the most part, Yuta was trying to put on all this offense, and he was just he didn't even firm it. You know when people like firm like to get in a chop. Shibata literally stood his ground, and just took the chops and stuff, and he just was no selling it, and he just clocked Yuta, and then just took him to school. So yeah, very good showing. Can't complain with the winner. Let's see where it goes from there. But yeah, that was the co-main, and now we move on to the main event, which was Claudio versus Eddie Kingston for the ROH World Championship. I don't know what to really say about this one. I mean, it was fine. It happened, I guess. No one really agreed with the ending. I know that for a fact. But yeah, I mean, I was Team Kingston. I was hoping he might pull up the upset. But yeah, I think because Claudio just recently won it, and they need someone in BCC to really have to be credible. Because he's the only one who's got a championship right now, isn't it? Right now, as it stands in BCC. So
well, yeah, because Yuta lost.
Yeah. So I guess it needed someone for them to be more of a threat. Let's go with whatever is going on in AEW, for someone to be a champion. So, but yeah, I mean, it was fine for what it was. Eddie Kingston was well loved, but yeah, Claudio obviously retained, and through like really jammy means, I must say. So we just got confirmation that Shibata lives in LA.
All right. He does?
Yeah, there you go then.
Sick.
Cool.
He's local.
Yeah, you could go and say hi to him.
Probably drove to the arena from his place.
Exactly.
Maybe he got a ride. I don't know.
But yeah, going back to the main event. Let me start off with Clark. What did you think of this? What your thoughts on this match on the main event?
And they wrestled.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah, I was baffled. Thought Claudio's blue pants were kind of cool.
Oh my god!
I've never seen him break those out. Kingston stuck with the normal traditional black and yellow gear, as expected. And does the spinning back fist not work anymore? Is that something?
It hasn't worked since he's feuded with Jericho.
I feel like he throws it too much.
Yes.
He's got to maybe stick the jab more.
Yeah. Or
do anything else.
I
love Eddie, but dude, why did they let him and Claudio have that match like that? Why didn't they sorry for cursing, fucking hurt each other? What the fuck? It's Eddie Kingston and Claudio fucking fight. Fucking the finish was soft.
It was.
It was such a good show, but like what?
At first, I thought it was a botch, but no, I think that was actually meant to be the finish.
It was a botch, but what are they gonna
Yeah.
call that? One of those like fully late kickouts? What?
No, yeah, I agree. It didn't really.
The chops were stiff.
Yeah, sure.
There was like one or two.
Yeah,
I think Eddie threw one forearm that sounded snug.
yeah.
I liked one of the suplexes on the outside.
Was it a table spot? No, that wasn't in that match. That was Joe and Briscoe.
Nobody could have used one.
Yeah, to make it a bit more interesting.
Would have been nice. Would have been nice in hindsight.
100%.
Get the tables.
What about you, Anthony? What do you think about
I mean,
this?
that's the thing. When you look at this card and the matches that we talked about, some of the ones that are our favorite, pretty much any of those could have closed the show and
Yeah.
done a better job than this.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a story that was relatable. They had history. They had heat.
It's
Whatever.
a blood feud.
Yeah. So, but what they delivered was not exactly the ending that you want on a major show, especially WrestleMania weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're trying to rebuild a brand, you want to end it on the highest note possible.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't it.
Mm-hmm. No, of course, 100%.
It was one of the lower notes.
Yeah,
Call.
yeah.
It was a low note.
I've never seen so many people evacuate the place so fast as well.
Oh,
Actually,
no.
we were trying to get out of there fast, and I feel like everyone else beat us to the punch somehow. it was like a race.
I mean, the level of disgust that Claudio retained was absolutely hysterical.
Yes.
Because we're like, oh, we'll get out of here without a problem.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, everyone just shuttled out.
Swarm.
People didn't wait to see if there was maybe a surprise appearance at the end.
It's amazing how everyone in LA shows up late to the show but gets out of there on time.
I mean, the funny part was when we got out, you know, the Ubers pulling up. And we got it. We
nailed it.
We ordered it pretty early.
8 minutes projected.
But-
He came in 9. I gave him 5 stars anyway.
But you know, multiple Ubers popped up before ours, and you kind of go, when did they order?
Yeah.
This guy's like running and ordering. I had to stand still to order it personally.
It's crazy. It was a bit of it did end in the slight whimper. Not to say that the match sucked, it didn't, but
No.
it just didn't deliver to the heights of the previous matches. And like you said, it would have been they should have had a fight, not a wrestling match.
Yeah.
They could have went street fight with that.
Yeah, street fight.
Yeah.
So just make it more interesting, considering you just had a ladder match in there. You had the crazy flippy doo-dahs with the AAA Mega Championship,
Right.
and everything else. So no, I totally get that. They should have definitely done something a bit more interesting with it. But yeah, it's where we stand.
I mean, honestly, the ladder match should have closed the show.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think everyone's kind of banking on that.
Yeah.
It just made sense.
I'm up at 110%.
Yeah, 100%. Before we sign
110.
off, 111. There you go.
12.
Just gonna keep going.
So
15.
out of 10. Oh wait, no, we don't do 10s here. We do 5s. Out of 5, what would you rate this pay-per-view, Anthony?
Maybe 3.5.
Ooh.
Okay, Clark.
I would say if I got to watch it back, I'd probably agree with the 3.5 statement. From an in-person experience, I'm going to go with 4.5 because I had a blast.
Yeah.
I just had fun.
Was
Had
that
fun.
Was that the show or us?
No, I was rating my own experience.
Fair enough.
Yes.
I changed the game.
The pay-per-view
So-
just happened to be taking place.
I just mildly adjusted the question.
Fair enough. Soul is in the back and he's already saying 4.
Soul's got
He's
4.
got 4 out of 5.
What about personal experience? 5? 0? You did
4.
4?
4 as well. Yeah, fair enough.
I'm gonna go up
Ben,
then.
what would you think? 3.5. Okay, 3.5 as well. I'll go about 3.5. This was a
Yeah.
nice little setup for the main course, which
Yeah.
would be Saturday and Sunday.
An appetizer, as we call them.
Yeah, the appetizer. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's our review or our thoughts, our analysis of Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor. And we come to the end of the show, guys. As always, thank you very much, Anthony.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Clark. Thank you very much, Soul, and the boss in the back, Ben. As always, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way. Other than that, I have been your host, Chaos. This has not been Taken to the Table. This has been The Daily Show. Until next time, guys. Peace.